Hello, I am here with another manga video. In this video, I have 34 volumes of manga and one novel to show off for you guys. I'm going to do the novel first because the video is mostly about the manga. Please check me out on Instagram and Twitter. I think they're both at Totalhenry. I'll have links in the description because I can't put them on the screen because I'm not monetized, or I don't have enough watch time or whatever. But I've been posting a lot on Instagram with a lot of art that I'm just doing for myself, which that's not being filmed, it's not gonna go on YouTube. But if you're interested, and I post pictures of manga, whatever. Anyway, let's get on with the haul. So the book I got was the 10-year record of BTS. Is that the title? Yeah, or Beyond the Story. I've talked about this a little bit, but I am a huge BTS fan, and when I heard that this book was coming out, I immediately bought it. Bought it like the day it came out. As of filming this in early August, I think it's been out for a couple months. No, I think it came out in like July, so it's been out for a couple weeks. I haven't read it yet. I'm very excited to read it. It's a nice looking book. I mean, there's not too much to talk about. There's photos of the various members in the front of the book. I'm not going to show you guys all the pictures in here, but just a couple random people. It's J-Hope. Anyway, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm expecting to love it, but I just haven't found. It's not that I don't have the time, it's just I'm reading other things. I started reading the Tolstoy's War and Peace, and that's like a 1,400-page book. And I'm also reading tons of manga right now, so really that's the novel I'm reading, and so this is gonna have sort of being set to the side for a moment, but I'm very happy to have it. I think it looks great, and again, I think I'm gonna really like it. Now, on to the manga. The first volume is Case Closed, volume 32. I guess I was ordering something from Amazon, and I always want to throw like a random volume or two in my cart. And for whatever reason, this was absurdly expensive on Amazon. Like, I want to say it was like $100. And Right Stuff, and it confused me, and Right Stuff didn't have this book either, so I clicked, email me when available. And I was so impatient that I just went and bought it off eBay for about $35. I don't know why this one volume that retails for $10 is $35. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know if there's some weird thing that people want to collect a specific volume for, but whatever. So one volume of Case Closed. Blue Box, volume 5. I don't need to talk too much about this. Everyone loves Blue Box, and if you don't, you're missing out. I've talked about how much I love it, and I'm trying to pick up the volumes as they come out because I don't want them to go out of print. Then I got Ayakushi Triangle, volumes 3, and I also got volume 4. These two and Blue Box I did get off Amazon, and it was one, as I said, I had to buy something. I was buying some pens. I wanted a specific kind of pen for an art project that I want to make. And I was like, you know what, let's just throw some volumes, some manga into my cart. And I knew that Ayakushi Triangle, I also want to. Lately, I've been wanting to buy manga like as they come out, as opposed to just buying them in bulk, because I want to, because a lot of series like Food Wars have been like going out of print, or there's like, terrible Italian prints. So if I buy them as they come out, I can, assure that I'm getting the print that I want. Or, I wait for like 2 volumes to be released, and then like volume 3 is not immediately going to go out of print. I think what I'm saying makes sense. Then I got Descending Stories, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. I got volume 1 a few months ago. This is a Rakugo manga, and I read the first volume. I thought it was pretty good, or it was good enough that I wanted to buy the second one. I've heard some good things about the anime. It's about a guy who wants to become a Rakugo artist or Rakugo storyteller. I think he has, I forget his past, but I think he was like a delinquent, or maybe he was like a criminal or something, and he just got out of jail, and he basically is living with this master Rakugo artist, Rakugo master, who doesn't really want him around, but he really wants to learn, and he's kind of like imposing himself, and he starts working for him, and it's kind of a cool story. There's a lot of interesting characters. I remember in my first manga haul, I said I was a little disappointed with the art. Just as I was flipping through it, I was hoping it would be a little bit more realistic and not as cartoony. But as I was reading the first volume, that didn't bother me. Again, I think so far the story has been good enough that I wanted to keep reading it. Then I got Golden Kamuy, volumes 1, 2, and 3. I got these off of eBay for, I wrote down the price, $12.80. I've never read Golden Kamuy before. I hear fantastic things about it, and I've always wanted to read it, and I like buying, I was going to say I like buying manga, but I think that's evident. I kind of, at this point, I find myself, instead of reading it online first, which would be the cheaper and better option, I find myself like buying the first volume or seeing if I can find a cheap haul or cheap lot on eBay and buying those and reading the first couple of volumes. Like I bought like the first 7 volumes of Fire Force like almost a year ago. I still haven't read them yet. But that's my way of being like, oh, maybe I'd like Fire Force. I should buy a couple of volumes. It's not a great it's not a great strategy, but anyway, Golden Kamuy is a manga that I've heard so many good things about that part of me is like, part of me just feels like I'm gonna like it, so I might as well start buying some of the volumes. I don't really know what it's about. In the early 20th century, Russo-Japan war veteran Saichi Immortal Tsugimoto scratches out a meager resistance during the post-war gold rush on the wild frontier of Hokkaido. When he stumbles across a map to a fortune in hidden Anu gold, he sets off on a treacherous quest to find it, but Tsugimoto is not the only interested party, and everyone who knows about the gold will kill to possess it. Faced with the harsh conditions of the northern wilderness, ruthless criminals, and rogue Japanese soldiers, Tsugimoto will need all skills and luck to help, and the help of an Anu girl named Aspera to survive. Okay. I have had these volumes for a couple weeks, and I've never read the back. They're also a little scratched up. Maybe that's why I got them so cheap. Whatever. The next series I'm very happy to have, and this is one that I've wanted for a while, and it was always really expensive on Amazon and eBay, and that is Children of the Sea by Daisuke Igarashi. So I got the complete series, volume 1. I'm going to show the back on this, because the backs are interesting. Volume 2, this is a 5-volume series. I learned about this series from watching Naoki Urasawa's Manben. He had an episode where Iragashi-sensei was the artist, and he was drawing, at the time, his current serialized work. I forget what it was called. And they were talking about Children of the Sea a little bit in that episode, and they were showing pictures of the art. And ever since then, I've always wanted to read the series. It seems very beautiful. It seems unlike anything I had read before, and the art is also just unbelievably beautiful, and it's just so different from other manga art. Like this panel right here is amazing. I think he said in a video that he likes to use ballpoint pens to draw a lot of his panels. I don't know if it was that panel particularly, but he said that he likes to use a ballpoint pen because it's easier to you can just go like really fast, as opposed to something like a a G pen or something like this, you can't really, and I know from experience, you can't do that as fast the way you can like a ballpoint pen. You can just really easily go across the page. And you can find this Manben video on YouTube, and you can see him drawing, and there's some really amazing art in here. I'm trying to find some more pictures of it. Yeah, so this is just the first volume. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm really excited to read this. Oh, I found this on Reddit, on the Manga Swap Reddit subreddit. That's the word. And it was $60. Each of these volumes retails for $14.99. So I thought this was a pretty good deal, especially considering how much these volumes go for on Amazon and eBay and all that fun stuff. Okay, so the next group of volumes has a story to it. I got Platinum End volumes 2 through 13, and I'm going to show the covers as I talk about the story. So I know how people feel about Platinum End. I've only read up to like volume 4, and at the point at which I am in the story, I still think it's good. Plus, it's drawn by Takashi Obata, who's one of my favorite manga artists, and I kind of want to just own everything that he's made. And Tsugumi Oba, the writer, I think is really, really talented. So I know people say it's not good. I'm going to sort of hold back my judgment until I've finished the series. So anyway, I got volumes 2 through 13 on eBay. It was an auction, and I only paid $32 for all of these books. Now, I already owned volumes 2 through 8, so really I was paying $32 for volumes 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Those were the only volumes I really cared about, but it was such a cheap price. I can't believe I won the auction for so little that I didn't care about getting these other volumes. So these are the extra volumes that I already own, and I think I'm gonna sell these or something. Then the volumes that I needed are volume 9, volume 10, 11. I'm still baffled by how cheap this all was. 12. His art is just so good, and I love these covers. I should be showing the backs too, because it lines up for a full picture. Then, so that was the end of the eBay haul, eBay lot. So these are going to go back in my bookcase, and I'm going to keep these because these are the volumes that I need. And then immediately afterwards, I went to Amazon and purchased volume 14, which was the final volume. So now I have all 14 volumes of Platinum End. I can read it and find out whether people are right, whether this series really sucks. I'm going to show some art inside, because why not? I've also been rereading Bakuman recently, so I'm sort of on like a Takashi Obata kick, even though the art is not as realistic in Bakuman. I hope I don't give myself a spoiler or anybody, because I've not read this far, but I just keep saying over and over again how much I love his art, and I don't know. From what I had read, the first couple volumes, it felt like, no matter what these two artists do together, it's always going to be compared to Death Note. It's always going to be compared to Bakuman, which simultaneously feels unfair, but also like unavoidable. But whatever. I'm happy to have it, and that's all that matters. Okay, so then which one am I going to do last? Okay, so then the next thing I got is very exciting. I got the complete series of Astro Boy in the Dark Horse omnibuses. So there are 7 of these. I'm just going to show them as I talk about it. I keep telling myself I'm not going to spend more money. And I was not expecting to spend all this on Astro Boy. Astro Boy was a series that I did want to buy, and I guess I got an email from Right Stuff, which led me to the site, and I saw that this was during July when they were having their big birthday sale, and they had all these manga bundles that they were selling Astro Boy volumes 1 through 4 in a bundle, and then the last 3 volumes, 5, 6, 7, as another bundle. Here's the final volume of Astro Boy. And each of these volumes retails for $24.99, and at Right Stuff they were selling them for $14.99. So I got each of these for basically $70 cheaper. Or I paid $70 less than it would have cost for all 7 of these. I'm so excited to have this. I love Tezuka. I've talked about that a lot. It still bothers me that these are flipped. They're not in the regular orientation of a manga, so all the art inside is flipped around, which to me just seems incredibly disrespectful to Tezuka. I know a lot of people don't like this release. I hope this is focusing. Don't like this release because of the size of the book and how small it is, and it's also really, really thick compared to other volumes. I guess it's not the thickness. I think it's just like the size, and people talk about, or if you look at the Amazon review page, people talk about how, oh, I can't read it, I need a magnifying glass, I need a microscope to see the text. I think a lot of that is blown out of proportion. I don't think it's that bad, but I definitely see what they're talking about. If I was in charge of, making an Astro Boy English release, I would have made it a bigger size. But I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm young and, I have glasses that I look at this and I can easily read it. I can see someone having problems with this, but I don't know. I just don't think it's a big enough deal to complain about. I've never read Astro Boy. I've never seen any of the movies, so I'm going into this completely blind. I have read Urasawa's Pluto. It's been a while. I don't really remember. I'm sure once I get to that greatest robot on Earth story arc in Astro Boy, things will start to come back. But yeah, I'm super excited. This is arguably Tezuka's most famous work. And I plan to reread Pluto after I finish reading Astro Boy. Of course, I have other stacks here of things I need to read, but okay. So now the very last book that I have is the thing I'm probably the most excited about. I got this book right here, Japanese, and the title says Otoko no Joken. So Otoko no Joken, this is the title is Man's Condition, or as it's sometimes referred to, Qualifications of a Man. And in Bakuman Volume 1, this manga was talked about by Mashiro. He recommended the manga to Takaki, and they had this panel right here with the 5 qualifications for a man, for a manga artist. Never create a superficial piece of work. Do not indulge yourself in flowers of temporal popularity. Don't linger to your status. Never cry after being defeated. And even if you follow all the qualifications, never think you are correct. So apparently that comes from this manga. By the way, this manga was written by Ikki Kajiwara. He was the writer, and the artist was Noboru Kawasaki. I've never heard of the artist before, but the writer was the same guy who wrote Ashita no Joe, and he also wrote Tiger's Mask. He wrote really famous baseball manga. I'm blanking on the name right now, but arguably the most famous baseball manga ever. Anyway, I'm super excited to have this. This is all in Japanese. Show the art inside. Sort of this came out in the 60s, I believe. So it looks a lot like Ashita no Joe. I am currently studying Japanese. I've been taking Japanese classes. I'm in between like online classes at the moment. I'm struggling a little bit, feeling I've been studying. I've sort of lost a little bit of motivation, but I've started using Duolingo, and even though Duolingo, the level is like really basic compared to what I know or what I should know, it's just a fun way to get myself back into studying Japanese. And the way the app, like, it has sounds, like they're saying the words out loud, like konnichiwa, sumimasen, and you have to then listen and translate it. So it's helpful. It's getting me back into the mindset of studying Japanese. So I don't know when I'm going to read this. It's not online. Like, no one has translated this manga. This is a very obscure manga. So I don't know when or how I'm going to read this, whether it's just going to require me getting fluent in Japanese, or whether there's some way I can, slowly go panel by panel, page by page, and translate it. But I don't know, ever since I saw that panel in Bakuman, even the first time I read it, I just lost my bookmark, I've always wanted to read this series. Not Bakuman, I've read Bakuman, but I've always wanted to read this. It's called Otoko no Joken, Man's Condition, Qualifications of a Man. Oh, it has the artist names on the back, too. Oh, here we go. Cool, look at that. It's written in English, or in the American alphabet. Probably not focusing at all. Whatever, you can post a comment and I'll answer questions about it. So, yeah, that is it for the manga haul. I have a lot of stuff that I'm very excited about. I think I've said that I'm very excited about every one of these books. This video turned out quicker than I thought it would be, so thank you guys for watching. I have other videos in the works. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter if you want to see more art. All my social media is Totalhenry art, whatever. I think I have a TikTok. I was uploading clips or shortened clips from my YouTube videos. Maybe I'll start doing that again. But like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what manga I should buy next. Ah!